welcome to my tube. My name's Marge, and that's a Benny. I'm a Helga Wise clown, and Benny's a Helga Wise dog. And Benny said, Marge, do a video, Marge. Why don't you do a video? Talk to your friends. Talk to them about coping, Marge. Do it for Benny. Benny, my co-host. Sometimes we got Tuck over here, and Luna's over there, too. We're all just kind of hanging out. It's a hard day. I went out and got some DOG FOOD already, because when they don't have enough for breakfast, you gotta go. He's gonna bark in about 2 minutes. Anyway, I was watching Kapacha's report from yesterday, and I watched Molly McCord's report today, and Adrian's release report today, and it all kind of verifies what I see to be true. Oh, I didn't even do my commercial. Oh my guys, I used to be into rescuing back when I had so much extra abundance. All 4 of my dogs came from 4 different states: Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, and South Carolina. Yeah. Luna went the farthest. Anyway, they all came through this rescue dog. This is a great organization out in Omaha, Nebraska, the BBRH, the Basset and Beagle Rescue of the Heartland. And I'm glad that 2 of them were mine. That's the thing, is 2 of them were mine. And fleas? You guys don't have fleas? You guys don't have fleas? You never had fleas before? What the heck is going on? Different timeline. Now you don't have a flea again. Anyway, it's weird. So, there's a lot of people that are having a hard time coping with stuff. Yeah, a lot of hard time, because just things aren't the way that they're supposed to be. Things aren't the way that you planned them. You know, all this. What? This isn't. This misalignment is what's happening. It's our spirits have a trajectory and a path which was way it's supposed to go, and sometimes our egos have a better idea about things, and we want shinier cars and more expensive, faster cars, and we want to go, it's more important that we're seen with these really important people. But the thing of it is, the people that you're finding, these people that have deemed themselves really important, I mean, look at these people that are coming out of who they really are when some of these planetary alignments are coming around. Power ain't always good. And when people, their egos get too big, then they're, and you don't get told no, and you don't ever have to freaking use any discipline or willpower or anything like that. You have to do that. Then freaking people's desires of what they want get different. And when you have a group of society of people that don't know, see, the world is only going to get crazier. People are only going to get more insane. We are intended to learn to get quiet and be the peace in that insanity. Somebody's got to do it. There's a backfire in it, and ensues chaos these days. Where's the voice of reason? It was a backfire. Everybody calm down. People are so reactionary, and everything's speeding up. Has anybody ever actually watched a frickin' pot of water boil? A pot of water boil. It's really kind of neat. It's kind of soothing, actually. A pot of water boiling. It goes. There's a bubble here and a bubble there. And that's what's happening since. I don't know. Depending on your astrology and your age and when you're born, age when you're born, determining factors. Some of us are speakers of spirit. We're mics for spirit. Different dimensions, different thoughts, different realities, just different ideas. Most people are just looking at at freaking election stats and sports scores. You know, there's so many other frequencies of places and realms and emotions beyond that. But if you keep people just looking at shiny stuff, they're not gonna, you know, right here and keep, this is what's important and sex sells, and this is, you know, you gotta look a certain way, so spend thousands and thousands and tens and thousands of dollars to change your face so people like you, and all that stuff is just all nonsense. It's all nonsense. It doesn't make sense. So people are like, have lived a life of nonsense, and their spirits are like, hey, wake up. This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. Hello, you're doing it wrong. You're not supposed to be living from your ego. You're supposed to be living in a balanced place. See, Tucker came from puppy mill. He has a pig butt, little pigtail, because the jerk-faced maniacal control freak slammed his tail in the gate, and that's his result. Huh? Put it down. Go sleep it on. It's your mama gonna be bossy. Anyway, so people, I had to learn how to cope a lot, self-soothe when I was a little girl. Because I couldn't communicate. I had a speech impediment. My name is Margie. People, and so for a lot of years I had to go on speech, or a lot of years, a couple years, the blue bus, the speech bus, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, because they, you know, when people don't understand me, I get frustrated when I'm trying to freaking make a point and I can't put the picture in my mind in somebody else's with words. That frustrates me. So I like to use a lot of music references. I like to use a lot of video or movies. Watch a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, you know. I have a pretty vast background, so I can relate to anybody, you know. Anybody that likes music can relate to anybody that likes music, you know. There's always common denominators. People are just so, they're trying so hard to be separate from things, you know. And yeah, we have autonomous because we can react how we want to situations, you know, and we can do things that we want or don't want to do. We have that personal freedom to do that. But I think about how many people don't take it. They don't live in that freedom because they've made choices, so they feel like that they have to live one kind of way, you know, because it's right it's because they want to live that way, you know. And there's just so much strife right now because people really don't know how to tell themselves it's going to be okay. I'd like to say, let's talk a little bit about psychology. I've been to a lot of counselors, a lot of psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever. Because I've talked to a lot of people, because there's been so much, like Mom had so many problems when we were growing up, you know, that I just always wanted to make sure that I was okay. And then I've always looked into spiritual things. I've always looked into people's behavior, psychology, all of it. You know, I'm an esoteric engineer. I just like to know how things work. And people are really quite simple. They are. It comes down to, well, today, in the climate, I'm going to say more about fear and faith. Do you have faith in something bigger than yourself? Something a grand design that you know things are going to be okay? Do you have faith in yourself, in your abilities to handle situations as they come up, whatever they are? Do you know about things? Do you educate yourself in things that are going to expand your spirit? Or are we educating ourselves in things that are going to expand our egos? I'm going to go with ego from the way the world is right now. I'm going with ego. I'm going to say, when spirit wins, the world will change. When I will see the change in the world. When ego wins, this is the world we get. So I was listening to their reports. That's what I do. I collect all this esoteric data. I started this tube a couple years ago because when I moved out to Oregon, it became quickly clear that I couldn't leave mom for more than a couple hours, you know, because I want to get her in a place that is more senior citizen friendly, you know, handles and things like that, you know, and so I decided then that I was just going to take a pay cut, about $55,000 pay cut, and hang out with mom, because I'm in IT, I'm in computers, so all those computer nerds that you call, you know, that you can never get a hold of, and they're dragging their feet. Well, not all of them are the same. I was the one that, in the one job I left, I wanted to, my goal was to close 100 tickets in the last 10 days of my employment, and I was shy by like 4. I think I closed 96 tickets. So, you know, usually when I'm backwards. I do things different. I want to show people what they're missing out on. You know, maybe you should have asked me, offered me more money. Maybe I would have stayed. You know, so I'll show them what they're missing out on, and most of the time people just let me go. Anyway, so when I moved out here, I started this tube, you know, because my ascension started, when do we know when it starts, really? I mean, I grew up in Northern California. Mount Shasta's right there. Mount Shasta's a very mythical place. That's why I've always believed in energy, because it's always been right there. It's my backyard, you know. I broke my first chakra, my tailbone coccyx, on freaking Mount Shasta. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's like all these spiritual things have happened, and then, like, after the fact, I look into it, and I'm like, oh, that was really weird. That's, you know, and then I find out it was more remarkable than I even thought, you know. And so the psychology of the world today is, you know, you have a lot of people that, you know, the idea of what makes, why do people care so much about ingenuity and changing about things if the rotation of management isn't changing? I was really surprised to hear that there's a high profile pathologist. I used to watch Quincy. He was the first forensics show on when I was like 9 or 10, 11, and oh, my train of thought just derailed. Let's see. Oh, so there's this 85-year-old dude. Man, you should have been retired like 20 years ago, living, you know, because this guy is freaking. He was the pathologist that worked on freaking JFK's back in this, like, 50 years ago, you know? So it's like, you know, you have these people that are in power that want things a certain way, and then they, you know, they hire their cronies to, like, okay, say he died this way, and we'll give you all this money. And I mean, he was the OJ forensics doctor. I mean, all these questionable. It's just like when the deck is so stacked. What do you do? What do you do when the deck is? What do you go within and you make your own small community with a few of your closest friends and you know, a couple of pets and stuff, and you just make a world that you want to see, you know, and grow from there. You know, that's why I'm trying to. I got an idea of what things are going to be like when I go back to Red. Maybe hey, I had an idea of what things were going to be like when I moved out here, and it didn't pan out, and I very well could be wrong, and so we'll see. But I always got to keep trying, because I got hope for a better life, you know, and people are running out of hope. People are just like, God, why should I even bother? Because freaking all you got to, just the greedy win. The greedy win. The greedy always win. Rich always win. Why bother? Well, why bother is because this is your life, and this is my life, and I have to make a life that is worth living. Yeah, stuff happens that you can't control. I started drinking after 13, 14 years sobriety. You know, never once did I beat myself up about that. I started to think about March, you know, but you know how much more stuff made sense to me after I had those encounters drinking? I realized that when you drink, it removes the spirit from your body. which allows other lower vibration ideas, thoughts to come in, and that's why freaking people go too far when they're drinking. That's the reason. You're without your spirit. If your spirit was fully contained in your vessel, would you do the things you do? They call it bravery. I call it freaking tool of manipulation. Booze is the worst thing, man. Booze is just so, and people make it because it's, oh, I just hang out with my friends and have a couple beers. Yeah. We'll talk again in a few years. The number of the freaking the alcohol is just wicked evil, and yeah, it's great if you don't have that obsession, if you don't get into trouble, you could just have a beer or two, but there's a lot more people that don't, and they create a lot more harm and stuff, and it's just not even worth it, because ain't nobody in the world gonna take care of Mom. Nobody's gonna take care of my mom. Nobody besides me takes it. Nobody sees about her. Nobody asks about, or me, really. I mean, like, actually, somebody sent me an email this morning. I saw that when I woke up. I gotta go back and read that. You gotta tell yourself that you're okay. Because looking around, the world is gonna tell you you're not. And then you're gonna be scared all the time. And freaking when people are paralyzed in fear, well, all that does is help rich people get richer. Because when you're fearful, then you're gonna want to drink. Because it makes you feel better. You're going to want to go do that retail therapy because it's going to make you feel better, but you don't have the money to spend, and when it comes around and you're short, they're not going to explain, landlord ain't going to, and then he'll kick you out and then freaking double the rent and get somebody else in there. It's just all this, you can't be greedy anymore, man. The world is too hard. It's too hard. You can't. And so people that, have closed themselves off, no, you're closing yourself off from everything. Depending on how old your spirit is, we all incarnate as everything. Blade of grass, a whale. Why do you think some freaking people get so excited about whales and stuff? Because they're your fucking soul tribe, your family. You've been one. All the teachers and practitioners that I have followed, like Edgar Casey and Dolores Cannon, we don't just live this life. That is the ignorant thing. How do so many people believe we just live this life? Give me all your money for your taxes so I can spend it on whatever I want in my egoic, bureaucratic fashion. That ain't how it's supposed to be. And the gig is up. And people are calling bullcrap. People are calling bullshit all over the place. Bullcrap. I ain't buying into this anymore. If people really wanted to save on a government level, everybody would be on a fitness program, because fit people don't have to go to the doctor. But that's not a thing. I'm so freaking tired of freaking hearing about this shame stuff. Fat shaming, this shaming, that shaming. You know what? The shame's on you. The offense is yours. The offense is in the eye of the beholder. I was fat. You know why I was fat? Because I was miserable and I ate my feelings, and I didn't know how to tell people that I wasn't getting things that I needed. So it was just easier for me to eat it. And then it made me fat. And then it made things hurt more. When things hurt more, you don't freaking want to do anything. I don't want to participate. Who wants, I didn't want to go swimming. I love swimming. Pisces and Vedic. Aries and Western Sun. So it's like, it takes all the enjoyment out of yourself. But then I started doing other things that I enjoyed more. I only started eating good food. Food that my body wants. I'm having a weird relationship with food right now. Don't really like it, but I just don't have much of an appetite. But that's just how things are. I eat because I get hangry. I had my first hypoglycemia test at freaking 5 years old? 4? I was 4. I was in Morro Bay. We was before we moved up to Reddit. They draw blood every incremental, you know, like first every hour, and then it's like every 15. You drink this nasty syrup, and then they take your blood sugar after, and you have to fast, and it's just a very unpleasant situation for adults, let alone 4-year-old children. And I had like 2 of them before I was 10. So anyway, I've had a lot of grown-up things. I was all these things that people have always said, shh, don't talk about. It makes people uncomfortable. Well, there's my life, and you know what? I've noticed that all those people that are like, shh, don't talk about it, makes people uncomfortable. Well, that's your emotion, and you know, I was raped when I was a baby. A lot of people have been. You know, it ain't secrets anymore. You can't, it's becoming uncovered. People like to do terrible things to children. It's weird and it's gross. People are void of spirit. How come that's not a commandment? Thou shalt not do kids. You know? Just plenty of people in churches do. Plenty of rich people do. I mean, I've talked about it in video 2 years ago about how these rich guys just like to fly around in their planes and have their little sex parties and stuff. And then, you know, the thing of it is that's what they do, is they're recording it. They're recording their friends, and then that's how the freaking Epsteins become billionaires, because the guy freaking didn't even graduate college, you know? He's just freaking blackmailed people his whole... That's his life. You know, he's a creep. Now he's dead. So, I don't know, people are really having to determine who they're coming in alignment with, you know? And not just now, but who they used to hang out with, you know? Yeah, and hey, you can hang out with people that are less than creditable and know them, you know? But if, you know, hey, full disclosure, I didn't know, hey, I know all this stuff is coming up now. I didn't know that he was like that, and as soon as I found out, I got the eerie feeling. I don't hang out with them. And there's plenty of people that I don't hang out with because they're just too low vibrational. Low vibrational. I learned so many lessons, you know, and how to not attract karma. First time and only time. Well, no, that's not true. I've never really been a big thief. Like, so people that like to take things, it's not a vibration that's in me, because I always felt too bad. Bud! Oh dear calamity! Ah! You okay? The demergible? Tell me you okay. Love you. You miss me, buds. Okay, well, cool. Damn, my train of thought just derailed. I think I've been going on a long time. I think I've been running my mouth a lot. I just wanted to come and hang out. That's what I wanted to do. Nothing. Is there a chat? I don't know. I was watching Adrienne Elise a little while ago, and at the end of her video got all distorted. It was so weird because these trolls came in and they just like started like putting all this like berating her with bot junk, just dissonance. And as soon as that, and they just like, and it was like all these spoofed accounts. They just went up and just like somebody just went and cut and, you know. And right when it started to do that in the chat, that it distorted the video. It was so... See, that's the thing, is like, you gotta allow for stuff, you know? It's like, people are seeing stuff and they're like, am I losing my mind? No, you're not losing your mind. We are intended and made to see in frequency. You know? So you wear glasses all the time, you know, and I only wear them when I drive now. Or if I have to see something at a distance, but there ain't nothing pressing that I need to see every detail that far away, you know? So, I just ramble on now. Oh, shoot. Anyway, I'm sure that there's things I didn't talk about that I wanted to talk about. So I'll probably make some notes on that after a while. Huh, Tata? You alright? Got the choking, dude? After we meditate, do our meditate state, and then maybe I'll make some notes, do another video, and come back on. Just believe in your own self over all else, man. You know, sometimes you gotta, you know, and sometimes in a day you gotta tell yourself more often that you're okay, because people are believing, they're seeing all this external stuff, and they're thinking, I'm not okay, but you gotta tell yourself you are. So Anyway, that's all I got for now. Tuck, you got anything? Did you want to finish up on anything? Tuck? No? You said just to be good. Alright. Oh, sorry, Bubba. Alright, that's all I got. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. Boop, 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 loop, loop.